Good morning. This is the Paradise Unicorn Priestess bringing you day 275 of A Course in Miracles, the Yin translation, where we use female words. This would be October 2nd if you're starting at the new year. Tolerance. God's teachers do not judge. To judge is to be dishonest. For to judge is to assume a position you do not have. Judgment without self-deception is impossible. Judgment implies that you have been deceived in your sisters. How then could you not have been deceived in yourself? Judgment implies a lack of trust, and trust remains the bedrock of the teacher of God's whole thought system. Let this be lost, and all her learning goes. Without judgment are all things equally acceptable. For who could judge otherwise? Without judgment are all women sisters. For who is there who stands apart? Judgment destroys honesty and shatters trust. No teacher of God can judge and hope to learn. Gentleness. Harm is impossible for God's teachers. They can neither harm nor be harmed. Harm is the outcome of judgment. It is the dishonest act that follows a dishonest thought. It is a verdict of guilt upon a sister, and therefore on oneself. It is the end of peace and the denial of learning. It demonstrates the absence of God's curriculum and its replacement by insanity. No teacher of God but must learn, and fairly early in her training, that harmfulness completely obliterates her function from her awareness. It will make her confused, fearful, angry, and suspicious. It will make the Holy Spirit's lessons impossible to learn, nor can God's teacher be heard at all, except by those who realize that harm can actually achieve nothing. No gain can come of it. Therefore, God's teachers are wholly gentle. They need the strength of gentleness, for it is in this that the function of salvation becomes easy. To those who would do harm, it is impossible. To those to whom harm has no meaning, it is merely natural. What choice but this has meaning to the sane? Who chooses hell when she perceives a way to heaven? And who would choose the weakness that must come from harm in place of the unfailing, all-encompassing, and limitless strength of gentleness? The might of God's teachers lies in their gentleness, for they have understood their evil thoughts came neither from God's child nor her creator. Thus did they join their thoughts with her who is their source, and so their will, which always was her own, is free to be itself. Today, because two of the traits, tolerance and gentleness, were relatively short, they were combined into one day's reading. Contrast this with that long and elaborate description of how trust is gained. Again, we see that the other traits are relatively brief in comparison to trust, which is the foundation of all the others. And tolerance and gentleness go together very well. The first is about not judging, the second is about not harming, and no one seeks to harm unless they have first judged, so tolerance comes first. Before tolerance, we had honesty, and it says that tolerance is not judging, and that to judge is to be dishonest. So, since honesty is the one that comes before tolerance, when we're honest, we admit we do not have any grounds on which to judge. We don't know or understand anything. Our perspective is so ridiculously inaccurate. There's just no point in judging. And we are told that we have the complete help of heaven in fulfilling our function of forgiveness. We don't have to judge. In every situation, we can ask the Holy Spirit to judge for us. And if we find that we have judged, we can choose again, as is said in the very last section of the text of A Course in Miracles. It says in the section of tolerance that without judgment are all things equally acceptable. This is the principle called in Buddhism equanimity, where we do not have preferences. We receive all things as equally desirable or not desirable, without pushing or pulling at it. We accept and receive all things perfectly equally. This is what I meant when I said in an earlier episode that part of the soul work asked of us in A Course in Miracles is to give up having preferences entirely. This is a pretty advanced thing. Who among us can claim to not have preferences? Goodness gracious, I have preferences. I dare say every single person still walking around has preferences. And yet this is the thing that we need to let go of when we receive absolutely everything as the perfect and innocent creation of God. All right, after tolerance and moving on to gentleness, it says that the gentle cannot harm nor be harmed. Now, it makes sense that if you have perfect equanimity, such that eating the best slice of chocolate cake ever made and getting a root canal are seen as equanimous, you have no preference for either one because everything is the perfect and innocent creation of God. This is a bit of a ridiculous example because the truth is both of those are illusions and have no effects, and someone who's at that level would not experience either one of those things. When we are experiencing those types of dream illusions, it means that we do have preferences. But I want to point out something. The whole point of being gentle is that you respect that others have preferences. And this includes yourself. As long as you genuinely have preferences, your gentleness is not judging and not doing harm with respect to your own preferences. After we have reviewed what is the Christ in show notes, we go on to lesson 275. God's healing voice protects all things today. Let us today attend the voice for God, which speaks an ancient lesson, no more true today than any other day, yet has this day been chosen as the time when we will seek and hear and learn and understand. Join me in hearing, for the voice for God tells us of things we cannot understand alone, nor learn apart. It is in this that all things are protected, and in this the healing of the voice for God is found. Your healing voice protects all things today, and so I leave all things to you. I need be anxious over nothing, for your voice will tell me what to do and where to go, to whom to speak and what to say to her, what thoughts to think, and what words to give the world. The safety that I bring is given me. Mother, your voice protects all things through me. We've talked about on and off through these podcast episodes how much we rely on asking for the help from heaven, especially since we cannot judge. And it says the voice for God tells us of things we cannot understand alone nor learn apart. We cannot do this by ourselves. We cannot go home by ourselves. We can't do it without our sister, and we can't do it without the Holy Spirit. This is threatening to the ego. The ego is all about being independent and not needing nobody. And yet that need to be independent results in the fear and anxiety and depression that is the human condition. So let us joyfully let all that go and embrace our interconnectedness, our interdependence. We need guidance from heaven, and we need our sister because we're one, not separate. Let us heal the insanity today. Happy practicing.